In this episode, we continue to drift and explore northern France. Stu's haircut comes under fire.
I'm just saying how much he looks like Tintin.
We come across an industrial innovation on the local canal system that gets rid of what was a barge jam 140 years ago. And we find a great parkup at the side of a canal. It's got an amazing view and is quiet, which is just the way we like it. And we find out how these two pictures link Germany to America's space programme. Welcome to the channel. That's Harry, our campervan, and that's me, Jane, and here's Stu. And we love to share with you our van life adventures. Now on this trip we're going to be trying really hard not to micro-plan. So we're just deciding on a daily basis where to go. So this morning we're going to Saint-Omer, I believe it's pronounced, which is about 17 kilometres or 10 miles away.
It rained last night, but the weather's gone sunny. There's a bit of a breeze this morning, but it's pleasant enough. And there's I think a lift to lift out the barges out the water. We'll go and see. Looks quite impressive. And then we'll probably go and have a walk around Saint-Omer itself.
Thanks to the magic of WhatsApp telephone calls, I have phoned my mum this morning and done her Waitrose order. So that's good because she's getting on a bit. So where we stopped last night, it was really, really quiet, as in we were the only people. And even this morning, there's not too many people there. We gave up on tea. It was really late. Stu was having CCTV issues, which were driving him mad. So we ended up having bread and cheese. But there's worse things in the world, isn't there, to end the day on? So it was good. I'm feeling a bit crappy at the moment, but just a cold. It never fails to amaze me that we've both been in France before. We've both been to France, but you never see it as you do in a campervan. It just gives you a whole new way of seeing it. And even after 4 years, I'm still blown away by it, which is a good thing.
Stay right, Stuart.
I think it surprised us how relaxed we both feel. I think we thought we'd be a bit more stressed than we thought, having never driven so much in Europe, but Stu's just loving it. I cut Stu's hair before we came away. I'm just saying how much he looks like Tintin. I didn't actually cut it like that. I don't know what's gone on with it. I'll have a look later.
What are you doing with it?
I'll have a look later.
It's like that.
All right, Tintin.
Like the Pyrenees.
I'm starting to wonder if it's open because everywhere's really quiet.
We then realise that we've parked in the wrong place over here. So if you're coming here, you need to come down this road to this car park. The Fontinettes boat lift was opened in 1888 to relieve a bottleneck of barges that had to pass up to 5 locks and 13 metres in height, often taking several days due to the congestion. The lift was in service for 80 years and it was actually inspired by the Anderton lift in Nantwich in England. And after booking in at the reception, they provide links to the QR codes to link to an online English audio guide.
For the lift is about to carry out its last ever manoeuvre. This is the forge.
And at the start of the self-tour is a small museum area showing various machines from the workshop that was on site.
This is where we repair the parts that can be repaired on site. The machines all have a purpose, and some have even been custom designed. Take a look at those gears on your left. Do they remind you of anything?
So I didn't know that, but these are called Citroen gears. And of course, the Citroen emblem on the car is that arrow.
Of course, yeah.
And that's the connection, because they were used in the automobile industry.
You're made up with that little fact, aren't you?
See this here?
Yep.
That's the big piston.
Oh my
All of
God.
that, yeah, the whole weight of that comes down. It all comes down to here. The barge comes in, closes up, and then they lift it up to there.
Are you saying that the water went up there?
So bring that down.
Yes.
Bring that down. Open the door up. Barge comes in with all the water, like a lock. So inside of that there's water.
Oh right, I'm with you.
Then that all lifts the boat up with the water in.
Yes. Wow.
That's where.
Yeah, I get it.
There were 2 boat lifts, each with a single hydraulic piston capable of lifting hundreds of tons, and I have to say they are a really impressive sight.
8th of July 1888 to be precise. It was a Sunday, but not just any Sunday. The excitement had been building for weeks, and French flags adorned the houses in Arc and Saint-Omer because the boat lift was finally going to be put into operation.
A permanent boat is docked in the second lift bay and provides a place to share what life was like in these large river vessels. And it was interesting to discover that there was quite a community travelling the waterways.
God, they're massive, aren't they?
And the small film area reinforced our understanding of how the lift worked. If you like our travel videos, please click the like and subscribe now. It really helps us and it's free to do so.
Just come out of the boat lift, and what's becoming apparent as we go around is that Stu's lost his ability to say hello in English. Because as soon as a French person says hello, Stu's going hello, like I don't know where it's come from, and all I want to do is burst out laughing. It's just like all of a sudden his whole English accent has changed.
I'm being bullied again.
You are though, aren't you?
She's cut me hair like Tintin and she's bullying me.
You are doing it though, aren't you?
Well, I don't know whether to speak in French, which I can't.
You can say bonjour.
Yeah, but then that's as far as it goes. So if they say something back, I'm then screwed. Or I sound English in a French accent, in which case they know I'm screwed. Or I say something in English that's pidgin English that's not really English.
It sounds like you're saying hello as if you were a French person. But I have to stand next to you. So if you could just stop it, it would really help me. Stop. Clear.
Je m'appelle English.
I'll look for what I am.
My name is English.
And we decide, due to the time as ever running out, to go straight to La Coupole Centre.
The complex is an imposing structure for again what was going to be the assembly of V2 rockets. This one has a futuristic dome-like design build. The sheer size makes you stop and think.
And this is to commemorate the victims, the civilian victims that died during the construction and the bombing between 1943 and 1944.
Jane navigates reception and books ourselves in, and there is a self-service audio guide with earpiece to help you navigate the site.
At the end, you take the lift, and the lift leads you under the concrete dome.
Okay, bonjour. Bonjour.
21.
Thank you.
Now this is a similar facility to the V2 rocket site we visited yesterday. However, the location is now used more of a backdrop to telling stories about World War history in the area, as well as the bunker itself, of course. It suffered with over 3,000 tonnes of Allied bombs being dropped, and some of which were the newly designed bunker-busting tallboy bombs we saw. Fortunately, the Allies managed to damage it enough to stop any rockets being assembled and launched just before the Normandy landings occurred. These models give a good idea of what was going to be a production line approach to rocket building and launching.
The site tells stories of both World War I and World War II. Stories that are framed by this huge facility built for human destruction. I'm absolutely fascinated by old black and white pictures of the war and how thought-provoking they are of what it must have been like. Following the small exhibitions in the tunnels leading to the centre, we take a lift to the central area where more artefacts and stories can be discovered. And there is a lot to see, but we have found 2 stories of particular interest. Firstly, how the Nazis, as part of their propaganda to the German population, made a documentary in colour in 1944 to show weapons of mass production being produced in what seemed to be clean and orderly conditions. But the reality was captured by an artist that was part of the workforce, and it shows the horror and the reality of the conditions. The second factual story was one that we've never realised, where at the end of the war in Europe, as part of Operation Paperclip, the US government authorised the rounding up of at least 1,600 German scientists, who were then put to work on their projects to the end of the war in the Pacific, and then beyond that in the development of rocket technology in the Cold War, as well as working with NASA on the space race. And it goes without saying that this didn't necessarily sit well with everybody, based on many of the scientists' association to the Nazi Party. Werner von Braun in particular was transitioned to the US, although he was a member of the Nazi Party and partly responsible for the design of the V2 rockets, having then become embedded in many rocket-based projects in military outcomes, and in the end work on the Saturn V rocket that eventually propelled Apollo 11 to the moon. And often he met high-up dignitaries, including President John F. Kennedy. We head into the centre of Saint-Omer for a quick look around. This is the large square in the centre, with lots of shops, bars and restaurants. Although as you can see, it looks like some major infrastructure improvements are happening at the moment. We walk up towards the cathedral, passing several tours going on. And right now we're really wishing that that sign said over 3.5 tonnes, as that would mean that we're able to park here.
France is going to be a problem. Stu got that. I bought 6 macarons.
Yeah, speak a bit louder though. Be quiet.
I bought 6
Well,
macarons.
okay, don't shout.
I bought six macarons, and they haven't made it back to the car, but they were delicious. And Stu has bought this.
One, not savoury, sweet croissant, I think it is. We had a bit of a language issue when we went in. Jane took over and ordered.
I went to order one, so I went to say un, and I went, can I have one of those please? And then as we were walking out, instead of saying goodbye, Stu said hello in French.
I said bonjour.
Bonjour. Well, we are getting to know some words now. We're not necessarily putting them in the right order, in the right context.
It looked like quite a touristy centre. There's lots of bars.
Yeah,
there.
It's pretty.
Lovely buildings. They obviously protect the buildings as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they had that one, didn't they? That was just a front, and then all the back was completely taken out and held up. And just thinking of our usage of their language, was so bloody horrified. Je suis anglais. We're trying. I we are trying.
Anyway, right, park up time.
Yeah, we're going to a canal, apparently.
Next to a canal.
Next to a canal, yeah.
Our target park-up for the night has been found as usual on the Park for Night app that we really use a lot. We absolutely love stops like this, with a constantly changing scene of barge life that carries on today and the wildlife.
Good morning. That was a great little stop, I have to say. We just came about 30 minutes east of Saint-Amar, I think it is. Found this place on Fontinettes, just by the canal that runs up. Nobody else was staying here. It was perfect, to be honest. I had a good night's sleep. Jane not so, I think she's still suffering a bit. But yeah, it was really good. We had a nice tea last night, and then earlier on in the day I tried to back up all my films, which I did in the end, but it was a bit of a challenge, I have to say, as it keeps the external disc keeps dropping off the iPhone and disturbs the copy, so I have to start again. So rather frustrating. Looks like it's going to be a sunny day today, so we're off to, I think, Lille today. There's looks like there's something in the centre of Lille that I'd like to go and see. Have a walk around there. I think there's also a war memorial site, and we're heading, just keep on tracking east at the moment, and then at some stage we'll go over into Belgium and then up to Amsterdam. We're going to be at Amsterdam next week, mid next week, because we booked a site for a week, 5 days in Amsterdam as we're visiting family, and then 3 days on a site just outside Amsterdam because we're going on a bit of a short break with them as well.
We start the day with a simple ridge monkey toast for breakfast, and a bit of housekeeping on Harry was the focus of a very slow start to the day.
Got Mr. Spider out. He was on the top, I just knocked him off. He's gone. Oh, he's coming out now, look. I just knocked his web. He's by the window. He's in there. So there's a spider in here. He's been living in here since Ireland. And every morning I get a cobweb on this side. I've just found the one on the other side, on the passenger side, and he's gone flying. He can live in France for a bit.
I was lying in bed last night and I could see there was no sound, but there was a light getting stronger and stronger, and you start thinking, oh, is that a car creeping up on you? But actually it was a barge at 11 o'clock at night, which is quite surprising. Got a provision stop.
And I'm pleased to report there is always plenty of places for recycling and rubbish. We're very much just buying as we follow our nose on this trip, which is adding to the relaxed nature of the trip so far. Well, we'll leave it there for this episode as I grab a few provisions for the day.
Stu's not going to be happy when he sees the size of that box.